Africa, the land popularly known as the Dark Continent. Here under bright tropical skies is a hunter's paradise. Despite the inroads of civilization, a bewildering variety of big game can still be found in the scattered forests and rolling grass-covered hills of the African veld, as well as in the blue-green waters of 100 rivers with strange names like the Umlatuzi and the Umfolosi. Wonder what could have frightened these fellas. Ah, there's the intruder, a warthog. That face would scare anyone. No trip through the veld would be complete without at least a glimpse of a giraffe, and of course, a broad-eared African elephant. Wild animals make South Africa a mecca for game-minded hunters. But to the native population in their kraals or villages, the chief concerns are the simple daily problems of living. These are women of the Venda tribe in the province of Transvaal. Among the Vendas, as in most South African tribes, it's the woman who does most of the work, including house building. When the clay dries, it will be as hard as cement and just as weatherproof. The men oblige by putting on the cone-shaped roof, which will be covered later with straw. Cleanliness is second nature among the Vendas. The floor of a new home must be spotless before it's considered fit to live in. Venda women are noted for their skill in working with silver. The metal is stretched into long, thin strands, which are then fashioned into bracelets. This youngster is getting off to a good start. When she grows up, her chances for getting a husband will depend to a great extent on the number of silver bracelets she wears on her arm. Girls are trained at an early age for the responsibilities of womanhood. The biggest responsibility is the community food supply, which the women plant, harvest, and prepare. The main item in the Venda diet is maize, which is pounded and then sifted into fine flour. The flour is then cooked. Located in a remote section of Africa, the Vendas have hardly been touched by Western civilization. They have preserved more of the old tribal characteristics than any other native group in the country. Among their traditions, none is more binding than the ritual of showing deference to the chief of the village. He's always the first to be served. Now we visit another famous tribe, the Zulus, whose name was once a byword for savagery. These are the fighters who for almost a century kept the Dutch colonists and later the English at bay. Today, the intentions of the Zulus are strictly peaceful. But in the backwoods sections of the country, they still retain many of their ancient customs, including an irrepressible love of dancing. Now the women take the center of the stage. Even the onlookers are captured by the spirit of the dance. The dance continues throughout the entire morning, And then, it's time out for refreshment, Zulu style. Even at a tribal ceremony picnic, the men are still served first. Like the fair sex everywhere, these young ladies would rather pose than eat. Women the world over seem to be alike in their love of self-decoration, even though ideas about what is beautiful vary considerably from one culture to the next. The Zulu woman, living as she does in a tropical climate, looks upon clothing as a luxury rather than a necessity. Her primary concern is adornment, and she achieves this largely through the use of beads in all sizes, shapes, colors, and patterns. And any other materials that come along, such as these empty medicine bottles, are valued as ornaments. The head medicine man displays a royal garment of feathers, the proper attire to lead off the climax of the day's activities, the Zulu version of a fashion parade and beauty contest. Judges try to look impartial, but the spectators have no scruples about showing their preferences. Married women, distinguished by their tall headdresses, compete against the single girls of the tribe. The choice narrows down to 2 finalists, one an unmarried girl. The second finalist is the representative of the married women. And here she is, the proud winner, a beauty in her native setting, the strange and primitive background of Zululand in far-off Africa.